one of the things that runs into many of our minds is if buying a VR headset right now in 2025 a good time to buy. To answer it simply, yes, absolutely. Would performance be a deal breaker? Price, comfort, specs. There are many variables to think about when purchasing a VR headset. And trust me, the market today has been quite flexible, offering us varieties of options, price points, the style, and many other things that matter. Today, we're going to focus on if you really need a VR headset in 2025. One of the major focuses today as an example would be a beautiful sim like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and the changes that we've been seeing recently. This is where you can test a VR headset to the max and really see if headsets can deliver something based on performance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Chikmangla and I think this is the right time to be in MSFS, especially after Sim Update 2. Really, they have a ton of fixes going on with a large focus on VR. So is VR worth buying in 2025? With the recent release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, yes, there were some big problems initially, and I hope the road to success is to address each and every problem along the way. Both Microsoft and Asobo have been focusing on since the beginning, so a big shout out to these teams to really collaborate and address major VR issues. And in this video, I'm putting a special spotlight on Pimax Crystal Light, a headset I've been spending for more than a year, and I really want to showcase the potential of some headsets like these, especially with the changes we've been seeing at MSFS, and to show why this might be just a headset for simmers who want clarity, immersion, a future readiness without going all in vario pricing. By the way, a good companion to me personally would be the Moza AB9 Base with the MH16 flight stick, a solid combination that has force feedback, a much needed thing especially in VR. Now flying low and slow on a right aircraft is great here. So I've chosen the stem from Got Friends and also the powered parachute, which are a great set of aircraft to enjoy VR fast scenery in every way. So why VR still matters in flight sim in 2025? Now I for one thought that this was a great start to VR when MSFS 2020 began. It was exciting and I did get into the groove of VR simming for a while. Now let's start with the bigger picture. VR and flight simming isn't a new thing. It's constantly evolving, for one. The realism of looking over your wing, scanning for traffic, leaning in to check your altitude, or just feeling like you're really inside that cockpit, it changes pretty much everything. Your perception of flying. In 2D, you're flying with a screen. In VR, you're flying with your senses mostly. And once you get used to it, there's just no going back. Now to me personally, I kept switching back and forth between VR and 2D, and mostly because I felt a bit more comfortable on long hauls on 2D until recently. Yes, let's talk about this particular point here. What's new in MSFS 2024 plus Sim Update 2 Beta? A lot of things actually. Now Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is built with performance in mind. We're looking at better multi-threading, smarter load balancing, improved CPU to GPU communication, so the sim is gonna get better in shape, and with SU2 Beta, it's shaping up to be much better. It's just at the time that can take to solidify a great code base for all of us to completely enjoy the sim to the fullest. And in case you haven't checked it out yet, Sim Update 2 Beta has already given us a good taste. Now the performance in VR is noticeably better for a lot of users. Head tracking feels smoother, LOD transitions are more seamless, and overall, it feels like Asobo is finally listening to the VR crowd. Imagine this, if this is the beta, I'm genuinely excited to see what the full experience can look like. The beta version brought several under-the-hood changes that directly benefits VR users, giving a more performance-optimized experience. The level of detailed transitions have been refined, minimizing the distract pop-in effect that used to break immersion in VR. Users have also reported improved frame consistency and reduced ghosting when using motion reprojection or frame generation with DX12. These changes suggest that Asobo is not only polishing the existing VR pipeline, but also preparing for the next changes and the sim engine to better handle the demands of more modern headsets. This includes Pimax Crystal Light, and while this is still a beta, the experience already feels more stable and immersive. Now Pimax Crystal Light, the sweet spot I would say for simmers. Let's talk headsets, and why I think the Pimax Crystal Light deserves more serious attention if you're considering a VR headset this year. Now all this is based on my experience, and I would love to share my opinion on what I really think this is, and this can benefit a lot of us, I hope. Pimax released the Crystalite as a more affordable version of the flagship Crystal headset. You still get the core strengths, high resolution clarity, wide field of view, modular design, but it's lighter, simpler to set up, and a lot more accessible in terms of price. For me, all these points mattered. You need to have a lighter headset, more room, wider field of view to have longer sessions. Clarity can make a difference. Whether you're flying IFR, reading instruments, or dialing in autopilot numbers, clarity can make a difference. So this headset delivers that. It used to deliver before as well, but with the latest SIM update 2 beta, I find it hard to see a difference between real instruments and the ones in the SIM. So the resolution of Crystal Light at this point is immaculate, and trust me, it shows. Now, field of view and immersion, this is one of the big selling points. The Pimax Crystal Light is noticeably wider than most mid-tier headsets like the G2 or Quest 3. Now for me, I've had two different headsets in the past. Vario Aero, which I wouldn't really like to mention here to be honest, due to many changes that the team decided on the last minute. Now the other headset being Reverb G2. These two headsets were good enough for me. You need to understand this. In a flight sim, that extra peripheral vision gives you a much better sense of space. You can scan the skies naturally, spot landmarks, check your wing without turning your whole head. It feels more pilot-like. In terms of comfort and weight, the Crystal Light is lighter, better balanced, and with a new facial interface where you can wear this comfortably for longer flights. So no more headset fatigue during a long cross-country trip or bush flight session. Now let's be real about the specs here. And to get the most out of a headset like the Crystal Light, you will need a solid PC setup. So keep this in mind. And don't forget, Pimax Play software has come a long way. If you update to the latest version, you'll notice a better UI, clearer menus, and even improved volume output on the headset. So the big question is, should you go for a headset now? If you think about the following points, you should buy if you already have MSFS 2020 and plan to upgrade to 2024. Yep, these sceneries look incredible at this point. You want to take full advantage of smoother VR performance coming with SIM Update 2 and beyond. It's not just SIM Update 2 at this point, where we should see fixes. This is a growing SIM with more solutions. That means it's gonna get better. If you're flying GA, bush trips, helicopters, anything where cockpit immersion is key, it's a good way to try this out. Plus, if you're in the market to buy a headset, it's a great time to buy it. And also don't forget about a good internet connection to take most advantage here. Now there might be times when you think you want to wait to buy a headset, and it's natural. So wait if your PC is borderline and you might need a full upgrade. Or you might want to wait if you want to see how other headsets compare, or if you're prone to motion sickness and want to try VR before committing. It took some time for me to really adjust. But if you're serious about flight simming and ready to invest in immersion, I think that the Pimax Crystal Light is a great entry point into high-end VR without really crossing into Vajo pricing. Now, I've flown with a bunch of headsets as I mentioned before, and I can tell you, this headset hits a very sweet spot. It's crystal clear, especially with SIM Update 2 beta. It's got the sharpness, the field of view, comfort, and now it's got better software and support as well. So like I said at the beginning, if you've been wondering if VR is worth it in 2025, I would say there's never been a better time to jump in. So here's the question for all of you. Let me know in the comments, are you planning to fly MSFS in VR? And what headset are you using or planning to buy now? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for future releases. Until next time, bye bye for now.